don't have nothing. I live in a glass house because I'm not perfect, and I believe that more people can learn from my flaws and learn from my mistakes and still see God's grace.
On the couch, on the couch, on the couch, homie, we on the couch. On the couch, on the couch, on the couch, homie, we on the couch. I said on the couch, on the couch, on the couch, homie, we on the couch. On the couch, on the couch, on the couch, homie, we on the couch.
On the couch.
You stupid. Welcome back to On the Couch with your host, Ray Marie.
And your co-host, Doopy.
Today we have Tim on the couch with us, who is a pastor out of Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Happy to be here. What's going on, y'all?
What's happening?
So we always start off with a game, and today's game is guess what? We're gonna call it. Okay. So object of the game is he has some cards. He's gonna try to get me to it. He's gonna explain what it is to me without saying the other words on the card. We have a timer. If we go over that timer, then we just go on to the next person. Okay?
Gotcha.
That's how the game works. So we're gonna go ahead and start. So go.
What is that the light is in? It's a what?
A ring.
But what else does a ring consist of?
A circle.
Alright. I'm rubbing my feet on the what right now?
Carpet.
Rub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay.
Come on.
He an expert at this game.
Alright.
You play this game a lot, huh, my brother?
Yeah, you know, theater major, you know.
Acting.
It's gonna be a little challenging for you, but I hope you can get it.
I got it.
Alright. When I was a kid, I always wanted to build this inside of the tree.
Treehouse?
Not, but it's called a what, bro?
No, timer.
So what happened was I was in New York and I couldn't take the bus. I had to take the
Subway.
Yep. Come on, boy.
We could be a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I heard that you fell yesterday. Your knee was sore, so I offered you a what?
Band-aid.
No.
Ace bandage.
No.
A cast.
But it was
Pain
swollen. So,
Swollen?
yeah,
Ice.
Yeah. But what?
Ice
What's
pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When I roll up, you know what I'm saying? Some people call it smoking, but some other people say it's do you wanna with me?
Blow.
Yeah.
I was trying to find some blow.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
We call this. What is this called? What do we call this right
show.
now? But it's right behind me, and one of the words is right behind me.
Curtain.
One of the words is
couch.
right behind. Yeah.
That's a curtain. And then.
After I get the answers right, what do you do to the timer?
I stop it.
All right, but you only can say one of those words.
Stop.
Come on, man.
Okay. So, Libra sign, they have blank of justice.
They a scale.
Yep. Is that Libra or is that Cancer? I don't know. There's the next
I would
one.
have said this how you waste stuff.
This one ready?
Yeah.
I fell yesterday, and that's because I'm kind of
Sick, high.
no, actually, like when you don't have balance.
Clumsy.
Yep. Okay. Let me see.
Yeah, you doing your thing.
Why
Let's
is
see who's
that
gonna
one?
win.
Why is that one? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the Nelson Atkins is a what?
Art museum.
So just one
Museum.
word. Yep. Boom. Okay.
These is too easy.
Okay, let me switch them. Okay, hey.
Y'all do it too easy.
Cause I don't know how to.
No, all y'all going back to back to back. Nobody messed up one shit.
It was a song with Little John, and it was like, "What you see, mom?"
Oh, I'm going. Like yeah.
Yeah, what's the name of it though? Like it was called the blank song.
Shaking like a star shaker.
No, that's the wrong
What's
one.
that?
It's the
Wait till you see
same.
It was Yin Yang
It was like,
Twins.
"Hey, little mama, what's me?"
Yeah.
Ah,
See, look,
What was it?
I said it was like, hey, little. Oh, I said whisper.
Yeah, you said whisper.
Oh yeah.
The whisper song.
That is the name of the song.
That is
I'm saying sing
I'm
on.
old, my bad. That's
That was a good one. I mean, that was a good description. I was supposed to get that.
You ready?
Yeah.
You have a blank one of these when it's like time for
Stiff.
Okay. There we go. That was not as hard as I thought it was. Okay, so pink salt comes from this place, and it's called blank pink salt.
Yeah, the sea, ocean.
It start with. I can't say that.
Pink salt.
Shit. Yeah.
Oh.
That's all I know is that it
Calcium.
has pink salt, huh?
Nah, I mean you can eat it with
It's
your
a
food.
amount.
It's the pink salt that you can eat with your food.
I didn't say it. Hey.
That got me there. What's that?
Himalayas.
Himalaya.
Yeah, that was gonna be hard.
You should have said I'm a player from the.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, Jerome.
I didn't think
Jerome in the house.
Okay, so they say you need this in order to check something on your body for COVID-19. Make sure you ain't too.
Temperature, hot.
What do you need to do
A
that?
thermometer.
Boom.
Why can't use these to put eyelashes on?
Brush.
No.
Glue.
They little and they kind of
Tweezers.
See, this is. Both of y'all is just good at this game.
Yeah,
like
this is my game.
this is the hard ones.
Now, if we was to go somewhere and play, we'd be dominant.
Yeah, we'll clean up shop. I got $5 on both of y'all.
That's a classic right there.
On the couch, on the couch, on the couch, homie, we on the couch.
I got 3 topics that I want to talk about today. Okay, so I want to talk about preaching. I want to talk about marriage, and I also want to talk about my what did we say? Third ball question. Third ball curveball question. It's always something different, but perception. Since you are a young man, and I want to get what you feel about people's perception of you, about you being a pastor. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the first one, which is preaching. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. So how and when did you feel like you were called to be a preacher?
I kind of knew when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, do you know? Is that really this? Is that really what happens? I remember a guy came to my mom's church. He was 7 years old. He was preaching, and I was in the 7th grade. And I remember God telling me, like, that's you. That's you.
Yeah.
That's you. And I'm like, nah, I'm kicked out of school right now. I was literally kicked out of school. I got expelled from school. I'm like, man, that can't be me. I kicked out of school. That next week we had a preacher come from Baltimore, Robbie Warren. He ended up coming down. He had all the kids in the front 3 rows, and I ended up catching an event filled with the Holy Ghost, filled with the Spirit through that. And that next day, everybody else was at school. My brothers and sisters, my mom went to work. I was at home, and I wrote a sermon in the bathtub. I ain't tell nobody about it for years. And so I kind of knew then, but it wasn't a popular thing to do. It wasn't a cool thing to do. I had no guidance. My daddy wasn't a preacher. My daddy's a hustler, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I didn't have that guidance to, help me bring that gift to life. And so I lived life. I went to the streets, which I'm thankful for, you know what I mean? Because that's something that is different between me and others, you know what I mean? Like, I can relate to everything that is happening in the world, the people that need me the most. I accepted my calling when I was 19. I remember I was working at a job. I was making good money, like $16, $17 an hour. And I was on like 17, 18, that's and I was working at a fast food joint. That's excellent, you know what I mean? But God was telling me, like, you got to get out of here because you got something bigger than you. And you trying to make your home here is something bigger than this. And it literally, I started growing my hair at that moment. It was just like, it was time for me to pull out. And so I told my boss, like, for 2 months, I'm like, I'm out of here. I got to go. He was like, yeah, whatever. Everybody like, man, you love this place. I was going to work besides going to school. That's how much I loved it. I love the money too. And long story short, when I left out of there, I ended up losing my car and losing my house. For the first time and the only time in my life, I moved in with a woman. And I thank God for her because she, you know what I'm saying, she allowed me just to be. And while I was just being, God was working on me. I preached my first sermon December 16, 2011. That was the first time I ever preached.
How old were you then?
Yeah, I was 20 years old.
Wow.
I was 20 years old.
Yeah, because you're 29.
29
correct?
now. Yeah. I was 20 years old.
30 this year.
Nah, next year.
Next
Nah,
year.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He said, wait a minute. I'll be throwing 30 at me.
Not yet.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Not yet. Look, give me till next year.
Second topic I'm going to talk about today is marriage. Okay. I do know that you are a married man with a new baby.
I'm not married.
You told me. Married.
I was once married, and we here. It's a show. Here we is. We on the couch. I was married. Long story short, when I came back to Kansas City, the girl that I was talking to, I didn't want to deal with her anymore. I was ready to just set up. I was focused on my church, everything else. Stuff happened. She ended up saying she was pregnant, and so me being who I wanted a baby so bad, and so I ended up moving her here. The church people told me that I cannot live shacked up. That was just a no. You got a new church that's thriving. That's gonna be the fastest way for it to get killed if you shack up. So I said, I don't want to shack up, and so I ended up signing my life away like a fool. And for anybody else, you know what I'm saying, marriage is very cheap to get in, but it's expensive to get out of. Another story for another day.
Yeah.
But now I am in a committed relationship, but I am not rushing marriage. As we talked about, don't rush. I'm not rushing marriage. I am trying my hardest to show people, even after you have a baby, that does not mean that you got to just get married, because if the two wrong people get married, you're not helping the baby. You're hurting the baby. And so I want to make sure that I'm not marrying her for the baby. I'm not marrying her because we live together, but I'm marrying her because I want to spend the rest of my life with her.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you say it like that, bro. Yeah. I'm just,
I get criticized about it.
Because, I mean, I'm a baby out of wedlock, but I was adopted by a pastor. You know what I'm saying? But he has kids out of wedlock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I understand a lot of different sides of the spectrum, but I do like how you explained it. Like, you don't have to necessarily be together for the child that you have together, because that's how the universe was. You were supposed to have that child with that person.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're supposed to be with that person forever.
Yeah.
Like, your wife could be somebody, or your husband could be somebody totally different than what the person is that you have the child with.
And just like you was explaining on the other half of the show, like, I mean, sins is sins. Like, I mean, and us, we are there to do it. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it like we're just gonna see and go out willy-nilly, but I mean, we're gonna make our mistakes. Yeah. We're gonna do what we want to do, and then for you to also be a pastor, that makes it so much easier to connect to you, because it's like even you can sit here and say that, oh yeah, I've done wrong. So how can I be the one to look at you and judge you for the wrong that you have done? Like, no, talk to me, because I'd rather you just talk to me, have a conversation, than us sitting here viewing each other in a light that
microscope.
Yeah,
found every detail, and that's the thing. Like, and I didn't hide it. I didn't hide the pregnancy. Some people, they try to hide all these. I don't hide nothing. I live in a glass house because I'm not perfect, and I believe that more people can learn from my flaws and learn from my mistakes and still see God's grace for me. And if God still loves him, if God still can use him, if God still blesses him, if I try to get my life together, maybe God do it for me too.
I want to snowball from that question into my third ball.
Curveball.
Third, which is perception.
Yeah. Okay.
Based off of everything that you have said so far in the interview, I am a pastor's kid. You're a pastor, but I'm a pastor's kid, so I know all about perception and how people view you. But I only became a pastor's kid by the time of 17. So by the time I was 17, it was already something else that I was portraying. So, being a pastor, how important is perception to you?
As I mature, I try to do better about my perception. How do I come out to others? Because everybody does not have the same relationship with Christ as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does not have this. Everybody don't get it for themselves. I teach my church to get this thing for yourself. Because when you go to Judgment Day, I'm not gonna be there with you. I'm not gonna be that attorney. Be like, well, they did come to church and they did try to pay their tithe. I'm not gonna be there. So I try to teach them that, grandma and I can't do it for you, mama can't do it for you. You gotta do this thing for yourself. But I try to now, especially over the last year, of give a better image. Now I listen to rap music. I listen to R&B. About 3 weeks ago, the first week of the quarantine, that Thursday night, I told all the church people, do not get on my live, and I went live, and I promise y'all, it was like we was at Club Sweat. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Drink, cussing music, and I told them, like, this ain't for the church people, but we're gonna have a good time tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, I've said it. I said, listen, I'm gonna delete the video. I did not let the video stay up because I realized the ones that did view it, for the 500-600 people that viewed it, that I'm gonna get talked about in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The pastor, the cussing music, twerking, and I'm just playing music. You know what I mean?
Shaking?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was just playing music at the end of the day, but so I as much as I try to protect my perception and try to do better with it now, at that same breath, I'm going to be me.
Yeah.
I cannot not be me.
you. Yeah.
I gotta
like
be
perception. A perception, it only matters to me to who I'm perceiving it to. Because on the other side of the camera, I really could care less because I know that I'm not perfect. I'm just trying to be a better me every day.
Like I said, over the last year, but the biggest thing that changed over the last year was the baby.
Yeah.
So the thing that people will look at and be like, man, that's a big sin. That sin, one sin, kept me from doing a million others.
Yeah, a million others.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's like,
Yeah, not saying
like
that.
not catch them,
Yeah,
like kind of like
yeah.
a sacrifice. You
Yeah.
gave up all that other stuff because you had this baby, like you had this other life that you created.
Yeah.
In order for me to provide for him and show him what he needs to do to be able to live an exact life, I have to be able to provide that example for him to live an exact life. Even if it's exact for whatever he wants to do. I just need to show. I need to show you the backbone.
Yeah, I need
to lay the vertebrae, and whatever you build on top of that.
On top of that,
exactly.
whatever head you put on that spine,
it's your head.
Yeah,
At least I gave you the backbone. I showed you the way. You know what I'm saying?
I showed you that always keep pushing, always keep moving forward, always see the better days the next day. Because, I mean, tomorrow might not be promised, but you never know. Tomorrow might be your victory. So, like, I mean, live it up.
Thank you for joining us today, for coming and joining us on the couch. And we want to definitely...
we got a bag for you, my brother. Yeah, we got some treats.
We have a gift for you.
I walked in my work clothes, so I already got some of my treats, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't copped it, y'all go ahead and get y'all some.
Avant Black.
Avant Black.
Thank shout out to our sponsors, Avant Black. Thank you for everything.
I'm go ahead. I can't wait till the photo shoot come out. I can go ahead and share the picture. Thank y'all for the gift. Thank y'all for having me on. Anything I can do, I'm telling y'all now. Put this on the show. This is gonna be your highest view show. Now,
he said it.
Hey, my people tap in, man.
Okay.
I love they. I support them. They support me. Hey, in the People Choice Awards, go ahead and vote me for Best Author while y'all at it. You know what I'm saying? And my church for non-for-profits on Facebook, Kansas City People Choice Awards. I wrote 2 books. I'm working on my 3rd one. The first one is Don't Snap, God Has Your Back. It's literally a devotion, daily devotion, real simple. The second book though is called Tim 4 T's. This is my my heart and my joy right now, and it's called Take Time to Think, Tim Fortes. And this book is written to help you turn your dreams into reality. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the major sites.
Okay.
And so it's written to help people of color and people of minorities and people that are less fortunate, don't have $1 million to start their business. How do I start a business? How do I start a podcast? How do I start a show from nothing? And so if you got a dream, if you got an idea, you got a plan, I guarantee you that this book, and I've literally got a money back guarantee on it. I give you money back if it does not change your life, because I'm that sold out on it. That this book would take whatever you got going to the next level. In I got a 7-year-old who took this book, read it, and now she makes thousands of dollars a week. A 7-year-old. So if a 7-year-old can do it, man, just imagine what an adult do. They take a little time to think. Take time to think. Tim Fortes. Please tap into that. Thank you for watching my episode on the couch. Do me a favor, friends and family. Hit that subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the like button. And if you have not yet, turn on your alerts so you can be notified at the next time that we're on the couch.
And if you did not catch last week's episode, make sure you click right here